subscribe. Tariq Radio. Like and subscribe.
What's going on, media saboteur?
Hey, Tariq. Good evening. How's it going?
I'm good, media. How are you, my friend?
Good, good. I didn't come up here to troll or anything tonight, or the
Well,
usual stuff.
well,
But
what's on your mind?
I wanted to give you some some honest thoughts, and then I wanted to hear like your honest thoughts back on the whole Diddy situation, the Sean Combs situation. First of all, uh, I think he's innocent.
Yep.
Based on what let's see, they're putting on the charges are racketeering, transportation for purposes of prostitution, and sex trafficking. Now, it occurred to me that what this likely is, as far as anything sexual related to this, and like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I mean, you've hung out with celebrities and stuff. Uh, this is a kind of a common theme where, like in LA, particularly places like this, someone like to like the megastar status level of like Drake pulls up into a club, goes in with his entourage. They're there for a bit. He has members of his entourage scout like basically the best looking women in the club. Usually turn out to be the youngest women in the club too, and they load up maybe like 20 of them on a bus and head off back to their mansion for an after party after. I mean, it's kind of a common theme here, and it seems like they're trying to mold this kind of a scenario into these sex crimes. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Because there are two waves of Diddy's fame that when he was Puff Daddy. One, this was like back when I was like in elementary school. Um, there was like this wave, I would say, from like 95 to like 97 when he was like mega famous, and then he went quiet for a little bit, and then he went mega famous again, like right as 2000 was approaching with the Forever album. And it occurred to me at some point, I don't know why this occurred to me, but I just started putting little, I guess subconsciously putting dots together. It occurred to me that he probably pissed someone off at somewhere along the line, someone who was who had just someone with very powerful legal connections.
Yeah.
That's what this smacks of to me. That's what it vibes of to me. And like basically the scenario that I laid out for you, because the thing is, if you look on channels like Law and Crime and so forth, or if you're following like Court TV, but I'm following mostly Law and Crime, I think, for this one. But they're bringing up, they seem to be trying to emotionally manipulate the jury. And by doing, for example, like they keep bringing up random theme, like they have like a laundry list, like a roster call of like females who I think they brought Kid Cudi up even recently. Not, I mean, not a female, of course, but basically anything they can get to corroborate or to any sexual deviancies whatsoever, which seem to have nothing to do with the charges they're trying to fit him with. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? Because it just seems very often. It seems like it just smacks of him pissing someone off at somewhere along the line, and uh, and then yeah, I don't know. What do you think of that?
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me hold on. Oh, my bad. My bad. Oh, well, my bad. Oh. So yeah, let me get into that. Thank you for the call. I get into some of that. Let me get into some of that. Listen, with Diddy, here's the thing. Diddy, and this isn't sex trafficking at all. Basically, they're trying to take Diddy down for shit that he was basically doing in his music videos. All the stuff Diddy was doing and all the stuff they're talking about in court, he was doing that in his music videos. Having parties as women, laying in the bed with women, drinking, partying, laying with women. Okay. So everything that's been coming out in court is basically consensual sex. They've been having consensual, freaky sex, which everybody knew that. He's been having them parties and then they start freaking off. And all right, there's nothing illegal. This is why they keep trying to tie it into some kind of criminal behavior. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. With Diddy filed that lawsuit against a billionaire beverage mafia. his Ciroc and all of that was going through that Diageo, whatever it's called. There's that massive liquor conglomerate, and they basically control global alcohol distribution. And Diddy called them out for racism, and he filed a suit against them for racism. So I'm thinking in retaliation, they were like, "Hey, come on now, you trying to have a pissing contest? We're the big dogs. How dare you? We'll show you how to take a piss." And we got to understand liquor companies like that, just when you deal with in the alcohol business, you got to have government ties. You got to have people clicked in with government. Hell, listen, out here in LA with our venue, they're giving us the runaround about a liquor license, just a simple liquor license. And we didn't have to go through meetings and oh my God, we didn't have to talk to different city officials, government officials. Oh man, it's a whole bunch of red tape just for a simple license. Can you imagine an alcohol conglomerate who manufactures the liquor? All of the government ties that they're clicked in with? You know how many presidents and senators and governors and prosecutors that these people are clicked in with in order to be able to distribute liquor in the United States and in the world? These people are clicked in. So somebody up there made a damn call. Yeah. That company, they got deep government and corporate ties. So yeah, those elite circles, they done made some calls. They done because look, they make little backroom deals, and these are the same people. Listen, these liquor companies, who you think the presidents and all of these people get their campaign financing from? Yeah, these liquor companies are like, let me grease the palms of this politician. Let me slide him a million or so on his campaign. So he got that damn politician in his back pocket, or that prosecutor. Let me slide this New York prosecutor some money because we sell a lot of liquor in New York. So let me make sure we get some good distribution deals and we get low tariffs and we get, let me slide this politician a couple million of them things so he can act right. Or let me put my own politician in there. Because understand, politicians are controlled by the corporate sector. They're controlled by the alcohol corporations, the big tobacco, them tobacco corporations. So yeah, they put their own politicians in office who's in the back pockets of the corporate sector. So somebody made a call on Diddy's ass. Somebody made a call like, well, he's getting a little too big for his britches. So prosecutor, the one you remember that little $1 million I gave you last year? Well, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get Diddy on up out the paint. That's how they operate, man. They operate like that. They operate like a mafia. The corporate sector is like a mafia. The music industry is run like a mafia. The alcohol industry is run like a mafia. The cigarette industry is run like a mafia. You know? And that's how they get down. So they done made some calls on Diddy's ass. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Mr. Brandon.
Hello. I agree with you on that shit. Diddy didn't do anything wrong. The only crime that like morally or like good values that he's guilty of is like having some kinks. Like there's no shit there. It's all smoke and waters. It's all bullshit like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, again, this just seems like retaliation because this trial is such a farce. They're just talking about freaky consensual sex. There's absolutely nothing about trafficking that's going on. Jimmy Pete, what's up, Jimmy?
How you doing, Tariq?
I'm good, Jimmy. How are you, sir?
I just wanted to talk about that baby who got unalived and that daycare.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed, we've been seeing an uptick in this a lot. But one thing I noticed is that a lot of these babies who seem to die in these white female ran daycares, a lot of them are biracials. And I think that, they're very insecure about their birth rates and they've always viewed biracial kids as a threat.
Yeah.
And so it seems like it's targeting, and this is something I noticed almost all of them, when it's a white female ran daycare, it's always a biracial baby. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts was on that.
Yeah. And I've talked about that many, many times before. I talked about that before. Even Dr. Francis Cress Welsing talked about that before. See, we got to understand sometimes when people be like, well, biracial people, they ain't really black. Yeah, they are. They are. And in fact, the white supremacists, they are more hypersensitive about biracial black people who can pass. They're very sensitive about them. The biracial black people who can kind of pass, the white supremacists are hell on them. They're very sensitive about them. Their antennas go up about them because those people can sneak in black genes into white supremacist society. That's the fear. See, with a regular black person, a full black person, okay, you see them, so you know how to deal with them. So, okay, segregation, you already got a system against that person. Okay, there's a black person. Okay, I got the miseducation system. Got it. We got job deprivation. Got it. We got political sabotage. Got it. So they already have a whole institution set up to sabotage the black person when they come around. So they that's covered. The biracial person who can almost pass, that's different. Because now they bring you in. Now they're telling you secrets. They're telling you things that white society is not supposed to tell black people. Like Neely Fuller Jr. says, one thing white supremacists do, they withhold valuable information from black folks. That's very true. They don't give us no game. They don't give us no business acumen, nothing. Now, back in the day, we used to have to ear hustle for that. That's why those porters, those sleeping car porters, those brothers were very, very powerful. Why? Because they would work those trains, work on the passenger trains, and the white supremacists thought that they were just dumb little ignorant Negroes, and they played that up. Hey, boss, you want some more coffee? I sure gives it to you. They would play the dumb role, and white people thought, okay, yeah, we can talk. That's little Leroy. He's we can talk around him. So white people be up here talking about real estate, stocks, bonds, investments, and the car porters they'd be ear hustling while playing dumb. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Johnson. I just wanted to know if you wanted some more applesauce with your plate. Yeah, Leroy. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, anything you need, boss. And Leroy go to the back. Listen, nigga, we about to on our next check, we're gonna buy some real estate in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Yeah, these Peckerwoods about to make a big move down there. They about to do some investments, and we about to buy some real estate out there. So the car porters, man, these brothers were very, very on top of their game. They were on top of their game. They would ear hustle around these white supremacists, but they stopped doing that because they got hip to it. Because in the civil rights movement, a lot of those porters and people like that, they were very instrumental in donating money and just giving a lot of good game and helping a lot of people in the community during the civil rights struggle. So the white supremacists learn how to keep their mouths shut around us. They go out of their way to not give any valuable information. So if you have a biracial black person who can pass for white, they white society is very hypersensitive. You don't want to have them folks around learning the secrets, learning who's racist and who's not. See, when black people come around, you hear what these people are saying about black folks. And the name of the game is to deny white supremacy exists. So if you get somebody who's biracial and they're sitting here learning the game, that's a problem for white supremacist society. That means they've been infiltrated. Because see, we have black folks infiltrate them many, many times. It was brother Walter White of the NAACP. He could pass for white, but he was actually black. so he could go in white circles and bring information back to the black community. One of the first race riots in Atlanta, they had a race riot, I want to say 1906, around that time, I think, early 1900s. There was a big race riot in Atlanta, and they tried to ethnically cleanse the black people out, but black folks fought back. And what they did, because white people, they stopped black people from buying weapons, so the black community got the black folks who could pass for white, and they had them go buy guns for them from white people. They got the ones who could pass for white, and they had them go buy the guns, and the black community got those guns and armed themselves. They start shooting at police and the whole shebang. So that's why they don't, the dominant white society, they don't like black folks who can pass. They're very, very hypersensitive about that. Somebody who's almost white, they don't like that. That's why they don't like Meghan Markle. I'm talking about, this is global. Meghan Markle, they treat her like a regular Negro. They're very hypersensitive to her. That's why Prince Harry, they took his crown. Then they dethroned him. What they do to him? They took some of his royal status away to a certain degree. Even though that baby looks white, they were like, nope, that baby has black genes. No, 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 we ain't trying to do that again. And Princess Diana was allegedly pregnant by an African Muslim, and they got her out the paint. They're like, oh, no, 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 we ain't doing that. We ain't sneaking them black genes. We ain't sneaking none of them African genes over here. We better understand how white supremacy works. So yeah, going back to the whole daycare thing, these biracial kids go up in these communities. So they start snuffing these babies out early. These white supremacists are sick, because they're like, no, no, this kid is going to grow up and try to date my son. This kid is going to grow up and date my daughter. So let me get him up out of here now. We got to understand how sick these people are. These people, that's what the Holocaust was about. That's what that Holocaust was about. The Nazis and all of that. Their thing wasn't about religion. It was like the Jews were not white. No, they had that African bloodline. Uh, that's the thing. That's the issue that they had. It's that African bloodline they got. They're sneaking them genes up here into Germany. Real deep stuff. We got Goyim, somebody named Goyim. All right. Speaking of Holocaust, Goyim, what's up, Goyim? Oh, he got out of here. All right. Let's get Dr. Linda. Dr. Linda in the building. What's up, Dr. Linda? Dr. Linda.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let me tell you this. I got my birth certificate about 4 months ago. They erased my race. It had a C on it. C could either be Creole or colored. I'm from Louisiana.
Oh,
And in Louisiana, you have what you call the paper bag test. If you can pass the paper bag test and be brown, you're given a pass. Now my last birth certificate removed my race and put 4 X's.
uh,
So I told my kids, I said, go back. Your mama don't have no race. But I also look at it from another standpoint of view. If you remove my race, I can't prove that I'm black. So if they get reparations, if they do any of this, I will have to prove that I'm black. Luckily, I have my old birth certificate that shows the C and that I'm black. And my mama was a Negro.
mm. What year were you,
I said, but
what year were you born?
51.
Okay. So yeah, it was a white woman down in Louisiana. Told me.
No, they were called my mom called them midwives,
Okay.
because mom, I never knew until maybe about 5 years ago that my mother's birth certificate said she was they called her they called her a name. Oh, they called her colored. The midwife called her another name. And I'm like, Mama. No, they called her Darky.
Oh, wow. Wow.
But I still have the copy of my old birth certificate. And right now, there's
It's so loud over there, dear. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the call, dear. I don't know. It was so loud. I don't know, beloved Dr. Linda. I don't know why you got that TV up so loud. Dr. Linda, what are you watching over there, dear? That TV is so loud. Good Lord, that TV is up loud in the middle of the night. But thank you, dear. The TV sound was very distracting. Much respect to you, Dr. Linda. Lady T, what's up, Lady T?
Hey, Tariq.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I've been calling you quite a bit these last few broadcasts. Really good conversation. I am interested in saying something about the biracials. Um, Now I know. I mean, I guess I get a little confused about it because we still kind of unofficially go by the one drop rule. I think we're still doing that
Yeah,
for some reason.
yeah,
Um, and the thing is that it's more of a social construct, right? And politically, some president or some, politician can try to move to flip that. All of a sudden, the people that we say are black, and they say, okay, you're not black anymore. You can choose whatever you want to do. Now, all of a sudden, are they going to remain and continue to be black if the social construct is laxed? You know, so that's something that kind of makes me wonder about, what do you think about that?
oh,
Thanks.
thank you. Hey, yeah, we live in a system of white supremacy, and the non-white people are subjugated, and then they have a hierarchy of buffer classes, and it's our job as foundational Black Americans to erase that racial hierarchy so we can produce justice.
I need some more work, baby, tonight. Ooh, I need some more work on me tonight.